Hey, I'm Gavin, and you're checking out my interview on One Starry Night at 1013.com.
Star 1013.
Backstage at One Starry Night, San Francisco at the Warfield. Gavin DeGraw.
Sorry, man,
Is that how do you warm up? We were just talking about warm ups, like
That's my warm up, man.
No, seriously, I have had artists tell me, I don't warm up at all.
Yeah.
And then I have caught artists like warming up before they do a performance in the men's room. Like this is what I hear when somebody's warming up a falsetto.
Yes.
You hear this.
That's a popular one.
Is it?
Yeah, I just recently discovered that one, and I want to tell you, it sucks.
What's
Sounds like a mating call.
I think it's a way to warm up your voice with keeping your, I don't know what this is in here, but keeping that thing open, or I don't know what any of it means, to be honest with you. And I think it works.
Well, what's your thing then before a show?
Whiskey?
Do you have a thing?
What's your deal?
How do you get in the zone?
I eat a lot of tofu in the dressing
We just
room.
learned off camera, not a fan of tofu.
Yeah.
There's a lot of tofu backstage here at the Warfield.
You know what I mean? I'd rather have a hot pocket.
Yeah?
But
we're talking about food.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Hot pockets are delicious.
What
Such a food snob.
Yeah, well.
What is your last meal? You were saying if tofu was
last
your last
meal?
meal, you wouldn't want it. What is your last
if
meal?
If tofu was my last meal, I would want it to be the end of my life anyways. That's what I was saying.
What's
what I
your
mean?
last meal? Like for me, it's fried chicken, straight up. No
Really?
contest. Fried chicken.
Okay. Unless I was cooking it, because it would taste terrible.
All right,
I'll make you a rubber chicken. It tastes just terrible.
Whatever it takes.
Last meal wise, I'm a red meat fan.
So like a nice steak.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, all day.
Medium rare.
Wine,
Oh yeah.
whiskey?
Ribeye, bone in. Yeah, both.
Okay.
Those are both delicious
Simultaneous.
flavors.
One after
like
the
a
other.
like a milkshake made out of wine and whiskey.
I like it.
Sounds pretty good.
Yeah?
Stain the teeth.
I was thinking the other day about how long you've been doing this.
Yeah.
By the way.
About a year and a half.
Yeah, right?
It's also brand new.
Because you broke,
Yeah.
what was it, 15 years ago?
No, I broke my first single actually became a hit, I think, at the end of 04.
Was it 04?
Yeah.
I couldn't remember
or
for the
hitting 05, so it really took a long time.
So
to hit.
like a decade.
Yeah, a decade, yeah.
But before that,
weird?
how long were you in a band or doing your thing before everything happened for you?
Oh man, let's see. I mean,
If you want to go old school,
mean-
if you remember One Tree Hill, this is the guy who did the theme song for
Yeah,
One Tree
yeah.
Hill. If we're taking it all the way back, I just want to take you down memory lane for a second.
I mean, before that, I had been playing in bars for 10, 12 years before
Right.
that even happened. So when I didn't get a record deal until I was 26, 25 or 26. Prior to that, I was just a writer. So all that stuff kind of happening, some people be like, oh, it's overnight. It's one of that same old story where you're like, no, it's not, man.
No, people always have to remember there's like 10 years. Yeah, it's a long ass night. There's 10 years before that actually happened.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Right?
For sure, yeah. So, right now, let's see. So far for me, this has been the biggest year, which is strange. Mostly because my favorite musician of all time, my idol, is Billy Joel.
Okay.
So, I have other idols who are like my favorites. There's the Elton and Billy
Right,
and,
sure.
the Beatles and
Sure.
stuff like this, Those were my favorites, growing up. But this year, Billy's camp called me and they said, hey, you want to come out and do a show with Billy? I said, yeah, sure. Are you kidding me? Of course. So, anyway, we show up to do the gig and I step outside because I knew Billy's guitar player. I knew Tommy, and Tommy said, hey, man, say hey to Billy yet? I said, no, I haven't seen him yet. He says, come outside. We're having a smoke. I said, all right. So I said, hey, Billy, thanks for having me out,
Yeah.
He said, hey, thanks for coming, good to see you. Really appreciate you coming out and doing the gig, this and that. We start chit-chat and whatever. And he says, can you do more gigs? I said, how many more gigs? Well, can you do all the gigs? I said, yeah, I can do all the gigs. What do you think? You're my fucking idol, Yeah, of course I can do all the gigs, Yeah. And so they gave me a bunch of dates, and so this year's been a big year. We played Madison Square Garden 9 times this year, Fenway Park, Wrigley Field,
How many times
National
have you pinch
Stadium,
yourself?
Hollywood Bowl 3 times. A lot of times, man.
Yeah.
A lot of pinches.
Every girl that found out they were going to
Let's-
meet you tonight,
he's
freaked
so
out.
good.
Freaked
Wow.
out. Like,
Thank
you're
you
like
for
a boy band, but one guy. Like, the power
Wow.
of a boy band,
Very
but
nice of you.
I meant it was a compliment. It sounded
I
like
only
a
have
weird
one move, but I do it 5 times in a row.
That still works. Repetition is.
Good with it. I'm sorry I had to say it like that. No, I'm kidding.
That's fine.
Was that good? That was good, right?
I honestly
Thanks,
don't
thanks.
know what he was talking
No, no.
about. I still don't.
Me
If
neither.
you know, tweet me. I
Not
don't.
shocked.
I don't know
Not
what that
shocked.
meant. Whatever.
No, but
you
thank
guys are having a bromance. I'm just gonna watch.
That's really nice. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I appreciate it.
welcome.
So anyway, so it's been a big year, particularly because the Billy Joel thing and
Right.
you know, just doing a lot of things
You're doing
around
the
that.
Dick Clark New Year's
We're doing
special with Ryan
Dick Clark
Seacrest.
Rockin' Eve, exactly, Ryan Seacrest thing. We just booked another show for New Year's Day. I don't know if I can even announce that yet, but it's a big televised
So
show.
no getting wasted New Year's night.
How about just taking the party to whatever city we're going to be in New Year's Day as well? Because it's New Year's. I mean, I'm allowed.
He's not sleeping.
Right? I'm allowed.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. All I know is, here's what we're going to do. We're going to do the show. We're going to hop on a private to whatever city we're flying to, hop off the plane,
Like a boss.
like
Do you feel fancy? I feel like your life is fancy.
that ain't fancy. I got to tell you. No. I'll tell you what's fancy. Fancy was me sleeping on the floor of the airport today because there was a 5-hour delay.
Which
Where'd you
airport?
come
Yeah,
from?
so people are like, yeah, what's with the homeless dude at the airport? I was like, yeah, just
Go to
step
my
over
show.
me, bro. Yeah, I'm on my way to a radio show.
We're excited to see you on stage tonight.
Thank you very much. I'm
Are you
excited
going to be
there.
doing any jumping around? Because I know you like to jump on the equipment,
Sometimes. Depends.
on the piano. Does your crew ever freak out? How badly do they freak out when they see you jumping around and doing all the high energy stuff?
They don't worry very much. They don't care about me.
No?
No.
They're like, oh God, the show pony. Oh my God.
No,
be okay.
they don't really worry about me. They just worry about what piece of gear I might break. Because, if it's a guitar
Right.
tank, he's like, I'm going to have to fix that later. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I'm careful. I'm careful.
Have you ever taken
Plus, this is mostly going to be rental gear. This is your stuff. I got to.
Oh, so you
I
don't
treat your
care.
stuff like it's your stuff. You know what I
do
mean?
you? Do
It's
you?
our tab. Might as
do you-
well go big or go
Or
home.
do you
treat
treat
it
our
like a
stuff
rental car, you
like
know
a
what I'm
house
saying?
guest?
No. I'm going to, with respect.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
With respect.
All right.
You know what I mean? I'll make sure to take care of your stuff.
I've seen some very high-flying shows for you. There have been moments where I've been in the crowd and I've been like, oh my God.
One time I thought I was real cool, and I was climbing over the barricade, singing, one-handed. So athletic to sing one-handed. I'm
Right.
kidding. So, I just I had the mic in my hand. I figured I'm just going to go over this fence, and I'm climbing over the fence, and I got one foot in one piece of the barricade, and I go to throw my other foot over. The foot goes over. I got to take that back foot out. But my foot got wedged in between the two
Yeah.
rails
Yeah.
in the barricade. It's made of these rails like
I'm
this.
seeing it.
Man, that threw me so far forward. I rolled out into the crowd like this, and I was like, after a while, I just started laughing on the floor, with like my microphone. I was like, this is, because you thought it was like sexy for a second, the song was sexy as hell,
Right.
but that not sexy. And I was like, oh man, this is terrible. And but you just gotta embrace it. That's showbiz.
Absolutely.
One time I did a split, right? I did like this James Brown split. I went down, I came up, and I was like, oh, and I just put down the mic because I had tore my pants wide open like this. Terrible moment. Showbiz.
Everybody got their money's worth that
That
night.
was not
Yeah.
cool, man.
Not terrible in the front
That
row.
wasn't good, man. It was a bad day for me. I've been really fortunate to have the opportunities. So, a lot of times people come out, they put a record out, they get their, 3 minutes or their 15 minutes, and you never hear from them again. So it's just, I feel really lucky that, that I've been able to turn 15 minutes into 20, and hopefully 25 too. You know what I
counting
mean?
like 15 years for you, right?
Well,
And
it's about 10.
It's the
About
greatest
10.
hits out right now, right?
Yeah, it's a
Time for
best
the
of
holidays.
record. Yeah, I put out a best of album called Finest Hour,
Right.
which is a song on the record. And our best foot forward, lead off the
Sure.
record was a single called Fire. And a couple of gems on that record in particular. Like I threw a recording of a song called In Love with a Girl that I put out on a self-titled record of mine. And actually the first producer of that song was a guy, you may have heard of him, named Max Martin. And so, so I never released the Max Martin version. I released a different version. But I figured for this particular album, I'd like people to hear the Max version because no one ever heard it, and Max is Max.
Right.
And I thought, well, people in the music biz would be interested to hear what Max's take of the song would be, versus another producer's take of the song.
Right.
So it's cool to be able to A/B stuff like that. and it adds another dimension to the record. You know.
Looking forward to seeing you tonight.
Thank you very much, man.
First time I
appreciate it
saw
very
you
much.
was opening for a little band called Maroon 5 right here
Of course,
in San Francisco.
yeah, of course, yeah.
That was a magical show and
Amazing.
blew my head off.
Thank you, man. And actually, you know, that band, that's one of the beautiful things about this particular business is once in a while a band sticks around.
Right.
You know? Once in a while.
Right.
And that happened to be one of the bands. You know, I got lucky enough to be out on a tour like that, and Adam's always been good to me. Those guys have always been good to me, and it's a good group of people. And it's a small business, man. You bump into these guys pretty regularly.
Sure.
You know, and it's always better when you get along with them because you know you're going to see them somewhere.
Absolutely.
You know, and they've been really supportive. So guys like that, and One Republic, and The Script, and Ed Sheeran, and you know, there's really there's a really great group of people who are out there and they're doing well, but they actually all like each other, which is nice.
Yeah.
You know?
And all making
it's
great
refreshing.
music, man.
It's refreshing. And I think it's actually something I think that's been missing in the music business for the most part for a long time, particularly in the pop realm, is that sense of community. You know,
Sure.
hip hop has a community and country has a community. But in the pop world, it's not something that's really advertised, the community of the artist, you know what I mean?
Sure.
There really is a community, and it's nice that you know, it's nice when you're in it.
Looking forward to seeing you tonight. Thanks for headlining
Hey man,
the show.
I'm looking forward to playing. Thank you.
One Starry night, Gavin
forward to
DeGraw. We're backstage right here with Star 101.3.
See you later.